My first guest today is State Senator Stephen Bradford.
I am the joint author of AB 3088 over the Economic Recovery Task Force.
State Senator Stephen Bradford introduced the Ebony Alert legislation last year.
How are you feeling to be here at the Hollywood Christmas Parade?
I'm excited.
He has the heart of a champion. He is about serving the people.
I will call him my hero and my friend, my confidant, my all in all. I just love him.
Before becoming one of the most respected and effective lawmakers in the California State Capitol, you could say that Senator Stephen Bradford's story began in his hometown of Gardena, here at Rowley Park.
I grew up here at Rowley Park. This is a place where I first played organized baseball, football, and basketball, starting at 10 years of age. It's right around the corner from where I grew up and where I still live, where my mother still lives. I can name folks all around this park that are still here over the last 50 plus years that I've lived in this neighborhood. So it's special meaning. I work out at this park. When I have time, I'm running to the fence and back.
As an adult, his public service has taken the form of mentoring young people on these very ball fields.
I coached football and baseball here for 16 years, starting with Pee Wee all the way up to midget in both football and baseball. If I had never gone to Sacramento, I would still be coaching to this day.
But his public service did shift to Sacramento, first serving in the state assembly.
Working together, we will make California a better place.
He was then elected to the state senate, and the magnitude of being a senator began to sink in.
It was awe-inspiring because I thought about all the individuals who had come before me. The Merv Dimleys of the world, the Diane Watsons, the Barbara Lees, the John Burdens, and the tremendous impact that they've had on the state of California, and now have an opportunity to serve in the Senate, knowing the history and understanding the responsibility of now being one of 40 in the state of California.
Senator Bradford has secured an incredible amount of funding and created locally focused legislation for his district's many communities, including Inglewood's SoFi Stadium and the Intuit Dome, $60 million for infrastructure improvements at CSU Dominguez Hills and the city of Carson, $50 million for Charles Drew University for a new medicine and science building, $6 million for Alta C at the Port of Los Angeles and San Pedro, critical funding to repair and reopen Compton's Artesia Bridge.
One of the major things we had going on here in this city was that the Artesia Bridge was down, and we really needed funding in order to get this bridge repaired. He really carried the weight and carried the ball in order to make sure that we received those funds.
And $3 million for Gardena to repair Rowley Park.
It's important to bring resources back. This is the largest park in the city.
Gardena, baby. It doesn't get any better than this. You know what I'm saying? Turn around and take all this in.
His beloved Rowley Park is also home to the Gardena Jazz Festival that Senator Bradford co-founded 21 years ago. The summer tradition remains a point of pride for him and for thousands of residents.
Gardena was on the brink of bankruptcy. We were cutting programs, and people had kind of like lost their hope in the city. I got together with one of my childhood friends who grew up right around the corner, Rod Jones, and he says, hey, we need to do something here to bring people together. What really attracts everybody that's kind of international? Jazz.
My elementary school buddy. That's right.
But then, a tragic event happened at Rowley Park that inspired one of Senator Bradford's most important and difficult pieces of legislation.
Police officers were involved in a shooting. It happened right here in the parking lot at Rowley Park in Gardena.
As a result, Senator Bradford's Senate Bill 2 would create a process to decertify law enforcement officers who betray the public trust.
What motivated me was a young man who lost his life right here on this baseball field. The bill was named after Kenneth Ross Jr. And Kenneth Ross was a young man who grew up right here playing at this park. So it was monumental to let his family know and this community know that we recognized him. And so I was honored when his mother approached me to name the legislation after him.
Facing strong opposition, Senator Bradford succeeded in getting SB 2 passed by the legislature. Once again, Rowley Park took center stage as Governor Gavin Newsom signed the bill into law.
Gavin Newsom. Thank you, Senator.
The governor saw the importance of who Kenneth Ross was and came here and he signed this piece of legislation right here in this auditorium. They recognized the importance of his life, but also the recognition of the need to correct this wrong that has affected more than the Ross family. It affects hundreds, if not thousands of people around this country.
Championing tough legislation like SB 2 is familiar territory for Senator Bradford. Throughout his legislative career, he has focused on impactful legislation and important policy work.
I'm most proud of my legislative accomplishments. I've had almost 100 bills signed into law. I mean, impactful bills from returning property to the Bruce family in Bruce's Beach. NIL, name, image, and likeness, fair period of play to allow college athletes to monetize their image, their name, their likeness. That revolutionized college sports. Credit reporting now for renters who now can build credit so they can eventually become homeowners. Social equity in the cannabis space. I was able to pass a piece of legislation in 2019 that had a direct impact on making sure that minorities, women, and our disabled veterans had a seat at the table when it came to the opportunities now that cannabis is legalized in the state of California. Just recently, the Ebony Alert that affords law enforcement to put out a bulletin when young African Americans between the age of 12 and 24 come up missing, similar to the Amber Alert.
Why is this necessary when we do have an Amber Alert?
It's necessary because very rarely do you ever see an Amber Alert ever triggered for a missing African American child or young woman.
Senator Bradford's office called us today and said the girl was found safe.
And, the credit goes to Senator Bradford, who was able to come on and help give it more volume.
Yeah.
And already, the Ebony Alert has been issued more than 24 times and has been instrumental in locating missing persons. Another proud accomplishment for Senator Bradford was his work on the California Reparations Task Force.
Over the last 2 years, I had the distinct honor and privilege to dedicate a great portion of my life on serving on this California Reparations Task Force, the first in the nation. We studied, we heard testimony, we gathered evidence, and ultimately documented the harms caused by both the federal government and the state of California.
Yeah.
Reparations is not a gift. It's not a handout. It is not charity. It is what was promised, what was owed, and what is long overdue. Secretary, please call the roll.
As Senator Bradford's time in the California legislature draws to a close, his constituents and local leaders are grateful for his service and his dedication to the communities in his district.
Senator Steve Bradford has been a friend of business and an exemplary public servant. Thank you for your partnership.
He's been an incredible partner over the years with the San Pedro Chamber of Commerce.
He's done a lot. When I first got involved in the community in Gardena, I would tell people I was from Gardena, and the first thing people would say is, "You know Steve Bradford?" "Yes, I know Steve. Everybody knows Steve."
2 years ago, Senator Bradford sponsored legislation through the state Senate and the state legislature, signed by Governor Newsom, to provide us a grant, a $7 million grant, which has allowed us to purchase our own facility. We've been able already to increase the number of people that we are serving from about 500 to about 5,000.
Welcome to the Stephen Bradford Global Communications Center. The award that he was able to help us secure has made it possible to help from Watts all the way to the Port of Los Angeles in his district.
He's not there prancing around being happy about the great senator from California. What he's there is doing the work on behalf of the people.
We just passed our accreditation for the next 5 years. And all that is with Steve Bradford helping us. I just love Senator Bradford for all the things that he's done in his life with the city of Gardena and with our community college. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Senator Bradford, I want to say thank you on behalf of Compton Community College District Board of Trustees, the faculty, our classified professionals, and our managers and our students for all you have done for Compton College and Compton Community College District. You are an excellent leader within our community, but also I consider you a friend of Compton College, but also of Keith Curry. And also as saying that you're a friend. It's nice today that we're able to be twinsies and you're wearing a Compton College jersey with pride at Compton College.
Just want to say thank you for all the wonderful service that you've given to not just us, to everybody, not just within your district, but everybody throughout the state who's benefited from your leadership.
As he transitions to a new chapter away from the California State Senate, he'll cherish the many relationships that he's built, along with the impact of being an elected public servant.
I'm going to miss the ability to directly engage with my colleagues, whether they were the same party or across the aisle, whether they agree with me or not. I love that interaction and the relationship building that is required to get things done. So I'm going to miss that day to day.
Although anyone who knows Senator Bradford knows how important golf is to him.
Being a senator, it's run my golf game. So don't believe the stories that all we do is play golf. I says, because I could play a whole lot better golf when I got to the Senate than I can now. So I'm looking forward to improving my golf game.
All joking aside, one thing is for sure. His public service and work to create positive change for the people he served will continue.
My legacy, I hope it says I was effective. I was present. I made a difference. It was never about me. It was about doing the real work. And I hope people say he did the real work.
I'm not done. I'm far from finished and working in my community and being a public servant. And we just, resetting the table and reprogramming how we go about doing it. But there's still plenty of work to be done.